The grid is clear, the lights go!
Alonso senses an opportunity.
Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately!
My earliest memory of Michael, well, it's not a good one, but it's one that shocked me. It's when he crashed in the tunnel in Monaco because he was leading, everything was going fine. And then suddenly, you see him coming out the tunnel because the camera was not following inside the tunnel. And he's on three wheels.
Michael Schumacher has had an incident in the tunnel, has hit the wall and has knocked off his left front wheel. What on earth happened there?
Nobody understood why, what was the reason. So I was watching there, being very young with the little car, making my little track in front of the TV. And I cried, yeah, because he was not leading anymore. So yeah, that's my earliest memory.
2000, 2001, so I was like 3-4 years old, running around in the paddock, joining my dad to days where he was doing like some straight line testing. I think those were my earliest memories.
2007, so when I was 7 years old, was obviously Lewis against Fernando McLaren. I was a big fan of McLaren, and I'm not just saying that because I'm with McLaren, because of their livery, and I just, the chrome and the orange was really cool, and I liked that as a kid.
Alonso senses an opportunity. They are side by side down the pit straight in Indianapolis. The two teammates, Hamilton holds his nerve.
Seeing those two battle it out, and the fights that they had between them, that was kind of my first proper year. I watched, I would probably say, every race of Formula 1 that season.
I remember just sitting on the couch watching the Grand Prix with my dad. I think on the weekends, I think it was races like Japan with Ayrton and Alain crashing into each other.
Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately! This is amazing!
This the old Williams with Sonic the Hedgehog on the side. It's Michael Schumacher crashing at Silverstone, going into, I think he's into Stowe, and breaking his leg.
Oh! That's Schumacher, isn't it? Michael's struggling to get out of the car a little bit. I wonder if he's hurt his legs.
Those are the memories, my early memories.
My first memory of watching Formula 1 was waking up at about 6 o'clock in the morning to watch the Australian Grand Prix with a white and fluorescent yellow car leading, with our dear friend Mr. Button leading the race.
Jenson Button's a winner again.
Somehow I had a feeling that was like when Keke Rosberg, he had this last season, maybe it was one of his last race when he had a rear tire exploded when he was leading, or no idea what year.
Keke Rosberg is out of the Australian Grand Prix. He must be bitterly disappointed.
Early memories of watching F1. I remember the years like Alonso was fighting Schumacher for the World Championship, waking up early mornings to watch that. And then, some other memories going to the Grand Prix in Canada when I was a kid. That was always like the most exciting weekend of the year for me. I would just be buzzing and so ready to get to the track and watch the cars.
My first memories are watching probably the news when I was 6, 7 years old. On those years, Formula 1 was not broadcasted in Spain, so you can only watch the news at night. And I think there was the Spanish Grand Prix, and Senna, Alain Prost, they were fighting each other for the win, and I saw those 10-15 seconds in the news. Those were my favorite moment of the day.
Went with my father to Hockenheim, I think it was in 1992, and it was free practice, and we got very cheap and late tickets. It was raining very hard, and I just remember that the whole ground was vibrating and a car was coming along. It seemed very, very fast. With my knowledge today, it was just an in-store lap and just to have a look sort of lap, but just to hear the roar coming along the forest, and then to feel it on the ground and see it braking for that chicane and taking off again, and all the spray behind the car. That's my first memory, and it's still an impressive one.
We used to kind of make a family weekend out of it. I grew up in Toronto, but we'd always fly to Montreal, where pretty much the rest of my whole family lived. And yeah, we just go watch the races. This is far before I even thought I would be getting into motorsports.
The first Grand Prix that I remember would be the 2006 Japanese Grand Prix. Yeah, it was the race where my dad's engine broke in his final season, and I just remember that everybody in the living room were obviously very sad of that. So was I.
My first memory of F1 is watching a race on TV. I would say around 94 plus minus one year, and it was really cool, to see the cars racing, and I got excited about F1.
I think my first memory was actually at Adelaide Grand Prix before the Australian Grand Prix moved to Melbourne. I was there and with Dad at the race, and we went onto the track after the race, and once the crowd cleared, and sat on the start line, and actually fell asleep on the track in his lap. So I think I was like 3 years old, but that was the very, very first memory.